What is going on, guys? Today we are going to be testing out some lights. Now we're not going to be testing out different light brands, doing that comparison because that is all over the internet already. So today's video is going to be basing off of comparing small light pods versus a 20-inch light bar versus a 52-inch light bar. Basically, what kind of lights do you need and for what reason? And yes, that is a school bus behind me. It is my toy hauler school bus that I'm building. That is not a part of this video, but if you want to see that, I'll link that up here for you guys so you can see the school bus. Anyway, so first things first, before we turn the sun off for the day, we're going to talk about the lights. Obviously, we're not going to be comparing them during the daytime. We're going to wait till later tonight when the sun does go down. But before that happens, let's start talking about what lights we're going to be using. This M-Power light is going to be your kind of light pods, your basic ones you're going to find up in the corners. This one's going to be a double stack LED lights. So there's 4 LEDs total, 2 light pods. This guy here is a 24-inch light bar. It is going to be a single stack going across. This guy here is going to be your basic on the bumper or on the hood type of light bar or up on some roof racks. Then, unfortunately, M-Power does not currently output a 52-inch light bar to go up above the windshield. So I do have this one here by Last Fit. This is kind of like one of your best cream of the crop ones you can find on Amazon. It is a 52-inch light bar, single stack, kind of good for comparing versus the other single stack one. Then the final one is the one I'm most excited about. This one is also by M-Power. It is something that bolts up underneath the roof and flush against the windshield of the Jeep. That way this guy here, combining the extreme brightness of one of these gigantic light bars. Main reason why I will not be using a 52-inch light bar on my Jeep is because of that annoying whistle. I had a light bar on my Jeep when I first bought it. Did not like that sound. I had a roof rack and some light bars on my Suzuki Samurai I had. Absolutely hated that whistle, even though the Samurai didn't really hit 60 miles an hour very easily. This flush mount light is going to be so awesome to have the same amount of light output from that 52-inch light bar, but tucked inside, out of my line of sight, and so perfect. Best of both worlds right there. And a couple reasons why I chose M-Power as my lights is because I already have some M-Power lights on my Jeep. They are silicone lenses. The outside's all metal, and these are the most durable lights that I have ever found. They don't yellow, they don't get any condensation on the inside, and they also don't chip. That is huge. Something to bear in mind, all these light bars are not road legal. These are based off of off-road use only. Please don't be that guy with that 52-inch light bar driving down the highway and blinding everybody else out there. And also, as a fair comparison, I'm going to be using one single battery to be doing all the tests on. This is going to be a yellow top Optima battery, so it is an AGM-based battery, has plenty of power to do all the lights that we're going to be doing tonight and power basically everything. So everything won't be based off an alternator if something's revving up. Everything will be nice and consistent across all the lights. We are going to be comparing what it looks like in the field, and we're also going to be putting on like a dirt road as if you're taking some logging roads or things like that out in the middle of nowhere. Up here in Washington, we have a lot of logging roads, backcountry routes, and all this fun stuff where I'm expecting these lights to just absolutely excel at. So let's see what they look like in comparison and see which ones you guys want to use. And as always, I got my awesome assistant with me, Justin here. I think we're not going to kill his battery with his lights on helping us out.
Your butt crack was out again?
Not my butt crack. Anyway, so apparently there's been known to be bears and cougars up here.
Yeah.
So being safe. Everything is going to be based off of this table itself. And we're going to line everything up so it's going to be pointing the exact same direction each time, just to give it a fair comparison. First thing we're going to start out with is going to be the light pods. These are the double stacked dual light pods. It is going to be kind of sketchy setting it up. I am going to be using alligator clips because I did forget other things at home, but it should be okay. And one thing to note, I am going to be using this little tripod here. It's one of those Instagram whatever tripods. So the camera's going to be in the same exact spot. The lights are going to be pointing out at the exact same spot, off the same spot. So it is going to be a true comparison, making sure that we're not skewing any of the results.
First thing up is the light pods in the field. Let's toss that up to the left. Next in the field is the 24-inch light bar. That's going to go up to the right. 52-inch light bar is next in the field. We'll throw that down to the left. And the bonus bar, the windshield light bar, that's going down to the right. As we see here, the light pods already are pretty insanely bright. Stepping up to the 24-inch light bar and the 52-inch light bar, you can definitely see a lot more trees in the background than you can with just the light pods. It is pretty crazy seeing a light bar that is half the size of the 52-inch light bar putting out basically the same amount of light. And of course the bonus light bar, which is the windshield light bar, that one is outputting by far the most amount of light than any of the others. You can even see this tree or large bush off to the side, whereas none of the other light bars can even show any of it. You can also see how this tree is rounded out and not just a point, and all the other trees in the background are extremely detailed. Let's move on to the logging road comparison of all these lights. Now on the road with the light pods, up to the left again. And on the road is the 24-inch light bar, back on up to the right. And final on the road is going to be the 52-inch light bar. That's just going to go straight down. As you can see on the main road, all the lights are pretty darn similar. You can see on the light pods that the entire road is lit up, and you can still see quite a bit of stuff on the sides of the road. With a 24-inch light bar, you can start seeing a lot of the side stuff out to the right-hand side there. If the trees were a little bit less dense, I'm sure it would show a lot more stuff off to the left as well. As you can see with the 52-inch light bar, things in the foreground are a little bit brighter, especially on that left side. It does seem like the spot sections of each of the lights are slightly off, whereas the 52 is a little high and the others are a little bit low, but it seems like the spot in the center down the road is pretty similar for all of them.
So as you can see, the lights are absolutely insanely bright from Empower, which means realistically you only need one of their lights to kind of cover everything. If I was to choose, I would probably choose just that 24-inch light. It is probably the overall most important light of all of them, kind of does a broad spectrum of everything. As you can see here, I turn them on in a residential area and the additional lights don't really help out much there. Unless you're on an empty highway late at night going across, say, like Montana, Wyoming, where they have a lot of animals, that could be helping out, seeing animals down the road. However, just around town, you're not going to need the additional lights. But when you get to the off-road areas, do a couple pod lights up top and then have a solid, like a 24-inch light bar, a quality 24-inch light bar, and then that'll kind of cover everything for you. I was always a fan of getting the super cheap light bars off of Amazon. Used them for a long time. They got water in them. They cracked, they yellowed, they just frankly stopped working. So the biggest thing I would say is get a very quality light bar product or light pods or anything of that sort. I'll make sure to link all of these down in the description for you so you know what ones I have, and then you guys go ahead and go from there. If you guys do like the content and want to support the channel just a little bit, you can head over to 4wheeldrivetrack.com, pick yourself up a t-shirt or a hoodie to help keep the channel going and also help me building some more stuff and creating some more content for you guys. As you can see, the Jeep is now back in the garage for an absolutely new project. So I'm going to leave it at that, and if you guys like the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to see you guys all next time.